So a lot of you are probably wondering, what is a macro? You've probably heard it in the fitness industry, in magazines, anything like that, and you're just like, what the heck is it? Um, well, macro is just a short word for macronutrients. And so what a macronutrient is it's just a type of food, and it can be either a protein, a fat, or a carbohydrate. And that those are the type of nutrients that are needed in your body in large amounts. So you have your macronutrients and your micronutrients. Today we're going to talk about macronutrients, but just for kicks and giggles, and micronutrients are just all your vitamins and minerals that are needed. So they're essential as well. The difference is that if you can kind of see in the name of the word, macro is needed in large amounts. Micro are needed in a lot smaller amounts, but they're still needed. So in a nutshell, that's what a macro is. When I say a macro, I'm talking about your fats, your proteins, and your carbs, which are what you're going to be tracking through the next 8 weeks. So I'm going to quickly just go through each of those three and just kind of quickly explain what they are, what they do in the body, and why they are important for your diet. So the first I'm going to talk about is the carbohydrate. A lot of people are scared of carbs. They want to eliminate them from their diet altogether just because they think that that is the source of weight gain. Well, I'm here to tell you that that is not true. That is one of the biggest myths that you can ever, believe. Carbohydrates are your main source of energy for your body. It's needed in order for your body to function. It's actually your brain's primary source of energy. So cutting out carbs completely from your diet, you're going to experience things like sluggishness, lethargicism. You're not going to be able to really think straight. In other words, your mind isn't going to really be sharp. And that's because carbs are your body's number one source of energy and your brain's, most importantly. All cells in your body, all tissues, everything, they need carbs in order to function. It's their source of energy. Pretty plain and simple. And not only that, another important role that carbs play is that they're very important in intestinal health. And so that's when fiber comes into play. So fiber is a kind of carbohydrate. And that's when I really want you guys to, I'll explain it a little bit later in this video, but I have a specific carb goal or fiber goal that I want you guys to meet every day. And that is because fiber is very important for digestion, very good for intestinal health, and that fiber is part of your carbohydrates. So in a nutshell, that's what carbs are. Carbs are energy. It's your primary source of energy for your body. And for those of you who are going to be exercising, 4, 5, 6 days a week, you're going to need those carbs because otherwise you're not going to feel like exercising, or you're not going to have a lot of energy while you're exercising, which is the last thing that I want you guys to experience. So next up is protein. Protein is pretty much the building blocks of your body. It is needed to build and repair all tissues. So it is essential. It is the building blocks of your body. That's what a lot of people know protein as. Proteins are also hormones. They're types of hormones. So again, I could go forever talking about that, but I'm not going to because it's not needed. If you do want to do additional research on your own time, feel free. I actually encourage it to just kind of learn more. But proteins are actually types of hormones, and they're also types of enzymes. So as you know, hormones play a critical role in weight loss and weight gain. So just know that they're needed. They're essential. And as far as enzymes are concerned, for those of you who aren't familiar with those are pretty much just molecules that help speed up chemical reactions in your body. So again, they're essential. And without enzymes, a lot of stuff won't be possible in your body. And proteins are types of enzymes, so you need those. And as far as those of you who are looking to build a little muscle, who are actually incorporating some strength training into your week, protein is absolutely essential, especially eating post-workout, like after your workout, because your body, your muscles specifically, are going to need that protein to build them back up. So what you're doing when you're working out is you're making little micro tears into your muscles, which is not a bad thing. Don't think that that's a bad thing. But once you make those tiny tears, your body is immediately going to look to start repairing those. And in order to repair those, you need the protein to do so. So that is also another importance of protein. And then lastly, we're going to talk about fat, which again is another scary thing to talk about in, the diet world. A lot of people, like I said, with carbs, they cut out carbs. A lot of people cut out fats too. They think that they're bad. They think if you eat fat, you're going to gain fat. Again, not the case. Fat is an essential nutrient. It's a macronutrient. It is needed for your body to function. Granted, there are types of fats that are better than others. And again, I'm not going to go into that today. If you want to do your own research, again, I encourage that. But in a nutshell, fat is needed to help absorb certain nutrients. So like I said at the beginning, we have your micronutrients, your vitamins, and your minerals. There are some vitamins that are considered fat-soluble vitamins, which means that your body cannot absorb those vitamins without fat there to help it to happen. So fat is needed. It is also a backup energy source. So first and foremost, your body goes to carbs. When carbs are not readily available for you to use, the next go-to for your body to use is fat. So you're going to need fat. And it also helps maintain your core temperature, which is very, very important. You may not think so, but it is. And in addition, the good fats that I just mentioned, those are really good as far as like chronic disease. They're good for decreasing the risk of heart disease. They help with lowering cholesterol, the good fats. And so yeah, good fats are needed. And you'll hear, well, what are the good fats? Your polyunsaturated fats, such as your omega-3s and your omega-6s, which a lot of that comes from fish oils, nuts, nut butters, that kind of thing, avocados. So that's where you're going to get some of your main sources of those good, healthy fats. And again, do your own research, figure out what you like as part of your diet. So that in a nutshell is what a macro is. And in just a second, you'll see a tutorial of how exactly to track those in your diet and what that means and what that looks like. Okay, so now we're going to move into how to track macros using MyFitnessPal, which is the app that I recommended for all of you guys. So the first thing you're going to do if you don't have an account is go ahead and create one. You can do that via the app. You can just download that and do it on your phone, or you can access it on your laptop, computer, through a web browser, whatever you prefer. So you're going to go ahead and make an account, and then once you make an account and log in, this version right here you're seeing is what it's going to look like on your phone. So this is what it's going to look like once you log into the app on your phone. And first thing we're going to do is show you how to set your nutrition goals. So the calories that I gave you and the macronutrients amounts that I gave each of you. So we're going to show you how to do that now. So the first thing you're going to do is press more down at the right-hand corner and then go to goals. Click on goals. And the first part is optional. You can put your starting weight, your goal weight. If that's something that you want to track on this app, then that's totally fine. The biggest thing I do want you guys to use it for is just the nutrition goals. So go ahead and scroll down, see nutrition goals, and click on calorie and macronutrient goals. And so here is where you're going to enter in those numbers that I gave each of you. And so if you enter in the calorie total up at the top, and we can just enter in 1350 just for an example, and set the percentages for each of the macronutrients to the desired percentage that I gave each of you and press enter, then you should see that the grams beside each of the macronutrients are going to be pretty close to the amounts that I gave you. So this is one way to track, is by grams. So we're going to go out once you set those goals. And then before we start tracking our food, I want to show you one other thing that you can do, and that's how many meals that you track per day. So you're going to go back down to the main menu page and then click on settings. And you're going to click on that first one that says diary settings, and then click on the last one that says customize your meal names. So here you can choose however many meals that you want to eat a day. I know that I told each of you to aim for 5 to 6 meals a day, eating at 3 to 4 hours apart. So if you choose 5 meals, then you can have 5 meals. And if you need another additional 6th meal, you can always add that too. So you can keep it just like this and just, simple meal 1, meal 2, meal 3, if that works for you. If it works, if you want to put the time in there, meal 1, I'm going to eat around 7 a.m., then that can be the meal name. So I'm just showing you this, whatever works. If you want to call it breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then your snacks in between. You can just completely customize this to whatever you want it to look like. Okay, so now that we've gotten your goals set, I'm going to show you how to track your food. So if you go back out to the home page, this is what you're going to see. And so to track your food, you can do it one of two ways. You can go ahead and press the button on the bottom that says diary, or you can press the plus sign, and then that'll show you the options of what you want to track. Either way, it'll take you to the same place. So this is what you're going to see on a daily basis, kind of what your log looks like, and all your meals are going to be listed there. So I'm going to show you an example. I'll show you what I ate for breakfast this morning. So I'm going to add food under meal 1. And this isn't going to show up for you at first, this list of food. It will grow, though, as you continue to add food to your log. These will be the frequent foods and the most recent foods that you have used, which makes it easy, to track if you eat similar things every day. So this morning I had some oatmeal, so I'm going to click that first, and I had 30 grams of oatmeal. What I do want you to note, though, is if you're not measuring in grams, that is okay. If you go up to the serving size, you'll see that you have different options on how you measured your food. So whether it was by an ounce or even by measuring cups, that is completely fine. So whatever measurement of choice you used, just press that and make sure that that is correct. So once you do that, you enter your number of servings, and from here you can press the check at the top of the screen. However, if you look under My Foods at the frequently paired foods, that is because this is pretty much what I eat on a typical basis for my first meal. And so I'm going to go ahead and just add the mushrooms, the baby spinach, and the egg whites, because I also had an egg white omelet this morning, and those are the correct values. So then I'm just going to press add, and that's just how easy it is. And again, like I said, the more often you log and the more foods that you eat, the easier it will be to find them, because they're going to keep track of those. And so once you log for the day, as you can see, I've added a couple meals in here just to show you what the nutrition breakdown could look like at the end of the day. So after you log all your meals for the day, if you want to check and make sure that you hit your macros, if not perfectly, pretty close, you're going to click on that nutrition tab at the bottom. And so this is going to show you the breakdown of each of your macronutrients and if you met your goal. And make sure at the top of the screen that macros are selected and not calories. You can use calories. You can look at all of them, but what I want you to really focus on are, did you hit your macros for the day? And you can do it by a weekly view, which you see here, or you can change it and just see a day view. And so my goal for you all is that those percentages under the total column, where in my case it says 48%, I want those percentages to be as close as possible to those goal percentages. And if you can do that, then you're doing everything right. Then you're logging right, you're eating what you're supposed to be. Now I wanted to show you guys what it looks like on a desktop computer. And this is just for personal preference, or if you want to track it further, other than on your app and see it kind of hard copy, if that makes sense. So what I'm going to show you is how to print a weekly report if that's something that you want to do. And I'm going to give you the option, guys, if you want to do this every week and then print this out or export it and send this to me, I would be happy to kind of glance over it and give you any, advice or suggestions of what to change, or, if you're doing a good job, I'll definitely let you know. Just if you're looking for any feedback, definitely don't hesitate to reach out to do this. So in order to do this, you're going to go to the Foods tab. And as you can see, it's already imported everything that we've kind of logged on the app. And you're going to scroll all the way to the bottom and click View Full Report. So from here, this is just showing you a single day. In order to view a whole week, just go up to the top corner and change the calendar here to the specific week that you do want to export, to see the printable version of that. And then after you do that, just click Change Report, and it will give you a list of every day that you have changed to view, and it'll have the date above each day. So it shouldn't, there's no confusion. It's very clear cut, very neat, so it's easy to read.